This video is for dbt Cloud administrators who want to set up single sign-on for dbt Cloud with Okta. Configuring single sign-on and role-based access control are best practices for using dbt Cloud for enterprise. These configurations provide enhanced security for you and for your organization when users authenticate into dbt Cloud. Let's start in dbt. You need administrator access and admin permissions in both systems to complete these tasks. You also need a developer license and an enterprise plan in dbt Cloud. In the navigation preview view, find your account settings. At the bottom of the left navigation menu, click on the company name, then select Account Settings. Another menu will appear. Select Single Sign-On. As a dbt Cloud admin, you'll need to go to the Okta admin portal and add two URLs from the identity provider values you see here in dbt Cloud. As a dbt Cloud admin, you'll copy these two values and use them in Okta to start the process. Let's go to the Okta dashboard to begin setup. As an Okta admin, you'll go to the admin dashboard, which looks something like what you see here. Go to Applications on the left to create a new app integration. Select SAML 2.0 as the sign-in method. Next, type in the application name dbt Cloud. You can upload the dbt logo in Okta to see it as an application. This is an optional step. You would add it here where it says App Logo. Now, the Okta admin will create the SAML integration. You need the two values from dbt Cloud here. Go back to dbt Cloud and copy the single sign-on URL and paste it into the single sign-on URL in the Okta SAML settings. Do the same with the audience URI or service provider entity ID. Copy and paste them from dbt Cloud and map them to Okta. Now, for the default relay state, this should be a unique company-specific identifier that you match with what is in dbt as the login slug. You can see I have mine set to Brian's Okta test account. It's very important you make sure that the login slug in dbt matches the default relay state exactly in Okta. As an admin, you can modify this in whatever way you would like. Just remember, it needs to be a unique value, and it will be appended to the login URL that users might use to log into the application. Other people will see this, so do keep that in mind. Now we can go ahead and use the one that I have pasted into the default view and stay within Okta. The default values in the remaining fields should be good to go. So for name ID format unspecified is just fine. Application username should be Okta username. Update application username should be set to create and update. Stick with the default settings here. Next, we'll add the attribute statements. You need to configure these statements so that when the user authenticates in Okta, Okta will send user-specific information to dbt Cloud. This tells dbt who the user is and can provision and update the user accordingly. There are three key attribute statements we need to add. The first one will be email. You can leave the name format as unspecified. The value here should be user.email. The second one will be first_name. The value will be user.firstname with the N capitalized. The last attribute statement will be last_name. The value here will be user.lastname with the N capitalized. All of these name formats, again, should be left as unspecified. Finally, we need to configure the group attribute statements. You need to do this if you intend to set up role-based access control with your SSO setup, so we do recommend getting this configured. Let's configure the group attribute statement. For the name, type in groups. Leave the name format unspecified and change the format to matches regex. The value here will be a period followed by an asterisk. And that's it. Be sure to hit Next. Just to recap, you will copy the single sign-on URL and the audience URI, or Service Provider Entity ID, from dbt Cloud to Okta. You'll create a company-specific identifier, then add it to the default relay state. It should match the login slug in dbt Cloud. The next three fields, name ID format, application username, and update username on field, these should stay in their default states. Add the group attribute statements and then click on Next. In app type, specify this as an internal app and that's it. Hit Finish. Next, click on View SAML Setup Instructions on the right. Now you're going to take the three values on the screen and simply copy and paste them into the SSO configuration in dbt Cloud. The first one is the identity provider single sign-on URL. Copy it. Go back to dbt Cloud, go to the single sign-on in the dbt Cloud configuration area and paste it. Since this is Okta, you can specify this as a SAML 2.0 in the provider type dropdown. You can also say your provider is Okta. Either option is fine. Continue with the second value, the identity provider issuer. Copy the value from Okta and paste it into dbt Cloud. The last one is the X509 certificate. Once you get everything plugged in under the dbt configuration, hit Save in dbt Cloud. Now the SSO is set up. Every user will be redirected to sign in to Okta. Users that previously signed in using the username and password will be redirected to sign in using Okta. As an account admin, you will still have the opportunity to sign in using a password. We do this by design to make sure you can log in the event that the configuration is incorrect or Okta is unavailable. The admin will still be able to access dbt Cloud. As a dbt Cloud admin, you are the one who will help your users log in to dbt Cloud. You can make this icon available in the Okta dashboard, or you can provide the link to your users to log in. We recommend that you verify that your users can log in and have the right level of access. You can edit or delete these SSO configurations if you need to, but it's not recommended unless you have issues. You should keep SSO in place as a security best practice.